Domain names from GoDaddy.com are up to 70% less than the competition. Plus, each domain includes free hosting with a website builder, a free blog, complete email, and much more. Plus, as a listener of MuggleCast, enter code MUGGLE, that's MUGGLE, when you check out, and save an additional 10% on any order. Some restrictions apply. See site for details. Get your piece of the internet at GoDaddy.com.
Because Joe obviously listens to Micah. Thank you, Maya15 in Slovenia. This is MuggleCast episode 69 for December 22nd, 2006. Hello everyone, welcome to the special Friday night edition of MuggleCast. There's no time to waste, we gotta get right into it. I'm Andrew Sims.
I'm Jamie Lawrence.
I'm Kevin Steck.
I'm Eric Skull.
I'm Laura Thompson.
And I'm Micah Tannenbaum. Breaking news at this hour, we have a new photo of Dan Radcliffe currently on display at the Michael Burt Photo Exhibition in Fulham, London. I'm just kidding. The real breaking news? J.K. Rowling yesterday revealed the title of the 7th and final installment in the Harry Potter series, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. There's no word yet on a release date, but people should note it took Joe roughly 6 months after revealing the title of Half-Blood Prince to announce the date it would hit bookshelves, and then another 7 months before the book actually came out. However, I don't think we'll have to wait as long this time around. Plenty of discussion on all of this later in the show. Hopefully, Joe updates her diary in the next few days to share some of her thoughts. Speaking of Book 7/film has a new interview with Prisoner of Azkaban director Alfonso Cuarón and another film director, Guillermo del Toro. In it, Cuarón discusses whether Harry could possibly die in the final book. He said, "I don't know. I had the same conversation with someone the other day about that. In one hand, it makes sense. In the other hand, how do you finish Harry Potter if you kill Harry? What is the resolution of the tale? How is she going to finish the 7 books and not have a temptation to do an 8th book? I don't know." And that kind of stuff, I have a really good relationship with JK, but I don't mess with that. He goes on to mention a recent phone call he received from Joe congratulating him on his film Children of Men. He said she really loved Children of Men, and we started talking, and I said it was a tough process doing the movie because of the brutality of what you're doing, of what we're picturing. And then she conveyed to me, yes, it's been hard for me, but when you do writing about the hard stuff, you have to sleep with that. But I don't go into details. That's all the news for this December 22nd, 2006 edition of MuggleCast. Happy holidays, everyone. Back to the show.
All right, thank you, Micah Tan, the anchor man.
You are welcome.
You know, it's episode 69 of MuggleCast, and, this was originally going to be our Christmas show, and it still is.
So Merry Christmas.
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas. Happy holidays, actually. Let's be fair, and happy holidays, everyone.
Yeah.
We hope you all get what you want. That just about does it for the holiday part of the show, because, as everyone knows by now, the title of Book 7 was released. I can't believe I'm actually saying the title of Book 7 was released. This is the beginning of the end.
It is.
Guys.
It is.
And I forgot to boast that we have 6 people here in the room this week. In the studio. We got a little extra MuggleCast money thanks to those step-up ads, so we flew everyone out. Except for Ben. He had a debate this week. But everyone's here. Everyone's in the studio. We had a little holiday party a little bit earlier. Featured soda, Doritos.
Try the eggnog.
That was very
Eggnog.
festive.
I didn't like the eggnog.
Yeah, but the ham was to die for.
Yes. Ben sent it direct from Kansas.
He slaughtered it himself.
Yeah. He killed the boar.
Yeah. So we thank him in advance for that. So
that was very.
We'll get to our Book 7 discussion in a minute. We just want to remind everyone first. Vote for us on Podcast Alley. And, of course, the new month is coming up, so don't forget to place your votes once a month, just one vote. And we like being up top there to help spread the word about the show. There's also a new way to help us spread the word about the show. Dig Podcasts over at dig.com. They have a new podcasting section. We want to get up in the ranks over there, too, so people who are into Harry Potter that visit social bookmarking websites like Dig can subscribe to our show and join the craze. So... that's that. And also, this is very important, MuggleCast t-shirts are going out of sale. This is the final week that we can ask everyone to purchase a MuggleCast t-shirt. Like the GoDaddy and Step Up ads that you heard at the beginning of the show, the t-shirts help support the show week to week, like, for example, flying everyone out here to my house to record the show. It also helps fund our holiday parties. Although next year, I think we're going to skip out on the eggnog.
And our professional audio equipment as well.
Audio equipment, yeah. We have top-notch audio equipment. Yep. So we thank you. We thank everyone. And if you're thinking about it, now's the time to buy because they are going out of sale quick. And then once sales have stopped, we will figure out any problems that people are having with their orders. All right, so once again, Harry Potter, or the title to Harry Potter Book 7 was released today, Thursday. We're recording Thursday. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows.
Hallows,
not Hollows.
Hallows.
Whatever.
Don't make the same mistake.
You know, I'll tell you what, guys. I don't even know where to start here. I guess we'll start with number 1 on our list. Seems the most logical.
Well, wait a minute. What about us? What do we think about it? Seriously.
Here's what I immediately thought. Sorcerer's Stone. An item. Chamber of Secrets, a place. Prisoner of Azkaban, a place. Goblet of Fire, an item. Order of the Phoenix, a...
How is Prisoner of Azkaban a place, Andrew?
Or a place.
How is Prisoner of Azkaban's a person?
Oh,
it's a person.
You know, I've been out all day. I'm just picturing the Azkaban. Anyway, Goblet of Fire, an item. Order of the Phoenix, a group. Half-Blood Prince, a person.
A place.
Yeah, and a place. What does this mean? What could this be? A person, place, or item
or thing? It could
this
be
is
any
very
of them,
interesting.
That's the thing.
Yes,
isn't it? Couldn't it? You know, I mean, we only really found out apart from the obvious ones. I mean, the Goblet of Fire is, you know, pretty surely a goblet. The Order of the Phoenix, an order is normally a group of people. Prisoner of Azkaban, you know, obviously a person. I think she's, you know, Chamber of Secrets, a chamber of secrets, incidentally, but. You know, we still have some idea. You know, Philosopher's Stone, we can do some research and find out. The only real research we can do into Deathly Hallows is
pulling up our dictionaries, basically.
Finally got it. Yeah, exactly. I'm working out the words. And, you know, it could be anything, really. And I don't know if she's... you know, and she's clearly done that to, you know, enhance the mystique surrounding Book 7, because we could tell slightly on the other books, but in this, we've just got no clue.
When I first saw it, I didn't feel disappointed or anything, but when I looked at it, I didn't think that it was nearly as precise as any of the other titles have been. I thought it was a lot more enigmatic, and we started getting all these emails pouring in with all these suggestions and ideas and stuff. And when we started going out and looking up, you know, Hallow and what it actually could mean and the actual connotations behind it, it started to kind of take full form, and kind of, you know, all these theories started coming through, like, could Hallows be Horcruxes because the definition of Hallow is to make holy or to consecrate. It could be a holy item, and obviously a Horcrux is something holy to Voldemort. So it could obviously be surrounding those, because obviously Horcruxes can be deathly. They're created by killing, so...
Right.
Do you think
That's
J.K.
one
Rowling
idea.
is going to get trouble for referencing holy items?
Well, holy, I have a second definition for Hallows, which means to respect or honor greatly, or revere, which kind of made me think of respected magic, and the revere, the reverent magic, as in the ancient magic, and things that we don't really even know about. But the Hallows being, you know, this respected kind of, again, enigmatic, but you know, the whole mysticism behind all these events that have taken place have to do with Voldemort and his Horcruxes, and the first word, deathly, just being Harry crossing and as close as he has ever come in between life and death.
Do you think that means? Sorry, I thought you finished.
No, that's fine. I mean,
I was going to say, do you think that means that this title is more sort of overarching for the series as a whole, rather than specific to its book? Because it seems like it could be an umbrella term for the entire, the key to the.
It's true.
If you understand the title behind it, you understand the secret to the book. Because maybe, I don't know.
I think it may be both. I think JKR may have become so good at it that she's done Deathly Hallows being something as we have in like a rebuttal type thing, for this book, but also an umbrella term, like you said, Jamie.
Okay.
I think it's just
Well, do you think she's taking creative license with the word too? Because when you look it up, hallow is usually used as a verb, isn't it?
Oh yeah. I mean, she's clearly made it. Deathly Hallows isn't a phrase you'd ever find anywhere else apart from the, title of Book 7. It's like, that's the thing. She seems to have, however much you read it into the dictionary definitions, there's clearly an etymology that she's created. And,
we actually... Sorry, Jamie, I didn't mean to talk over you there.
No, it's okay. I was just erring because I couldn't think of anything either good or
Andrew
funny.
will kill me for that later. But this was actually from Alicia, and she said that she looked up Hallow on Google, and she said that Hallow's on Google and something... Oh, wait, never mind. She said, by Google's definition, a Hallow is the beginning of the witch's year, when the veil between the worlds grows thin and the spirits of the dead may return to Earth.
Emphasis on the word veil.
Yes,
emphasis,
veil.
Huge
this got me so excited because you know that I love to harp on about how the Department of Mysteries is very, very important and how the veil is going to play a pretty big role in Book 7. So is it possible that people are actually going to start kind of coming back from the veil in the 7th book, like all these spirits?
I just can't believe that, because then the book really becomes just unreal. And like we were saying earlier, if Joe is skewing the words a little bit, then I think that this is definitely a possible theory, and it's excellent.
I just don't know. I mean, this book this has got to be a massive book. You know what? I'm scared. That my primary emotion right now is scared, and do you know why?
Because you're going to be locked up in your room reading it for 4 days, weeks.
No, I'm not scared. I'm actually looking forward to that. But I'm scared because if you think about it, Jo has typically been, I would say, a little bit courteous to give us, yes, she has killed characters. She has killed characters in the past, but usually she does it at the end of the book. Right now, guys, with Book 7, we have a death on the front cover. We have a death on the front cover. Deathly
No, it could
Hallows.
just be descriptive. It could just be descriptive.
No, but the word death is on the front cover. We have a death on the front cover.
It says deathly, which implies something can cause death. And it doesn't necessarily mean that there will, that's saying that there's a death. Although I'm sure there will be.
Right, and I think if they're representative of the Horcruxes, then it definitely could be, what Laura just said in terms of representing death.
Death to the Hallows.
It has everything to do with immortality and life and death. And it's like all the stuff Voldemort's been doing since Book 1. I was thinking about that, Sorcerer's Stone or Philosopher's Stone or everything. Like, this whole series has really been about. I mean, you think Deathly Hallows has been this really sinister, doesn't really fit with the rest of the series type thing, but it's like a coming to, a realization that it has always kind of been about life and death.
It has.
Well, do you think there's any connection between... We know that Lily and James died on Halloween, which was, it's also known as All Hallows Eve. Do you think there's any connection there?
Well, it's just the etymology of the word. I mean, All Hallows Eve being... I mean, you can make the connection to...
Right, but it depends on how she's using the word.
Yeah, it's true.
Doesn't that come back to Alicia's point that, Halloween is the day when the boundaries between the dead and the living is the weakest.
Well, Jamie, maybe what you were saying how the title might encapsulate all 7 books. Maybe it has multiple meanings for just the one book. Because, we also have to think about... We'll get to this in a minute, but we also have to think about that she was debating... This is one of 2... Well, 3. Yeah, 3. Yeah. 3 titles. And this is one of them, so...
Yeah.
Don't worry, she told me the other 2, so, at some later point I'll let you guys know what those are.
Okay.
Yeah, Micah, has she told you the release date yet, Micah?
No, where's the love here, guys? I mean, How many times have I asked
okay,
her?
all right.
Okay.
Let's hand Mike his props that he deserves. Micah, what exactly did you say last week on the show?
Well, I said last week at the end of the news that I noticed she had updated her site after I had asked for something. Kevin, Laura, and I were having a discussion about, I think it was innocents and traitors, and I mentioned something about her updating her site because it had been so long since October 31st, and sure enough, she did her little diary update last week.
And you know what? At that point, I was convinced that there was not going to be anything coming,
right?
With as a surprise.
And then at the end of the news last week, I said, she made an update. Maybe I'll have to ask for something big for Christmas from her. And it's a few days before Christmas, and what do we get? I don't know.
Micah, there's a weird pattern going on. I'm not,
think about what happened the first time I asked my What's Buggin' Micah segment. A couple days later, she updates her site. I mentioned something about Halloween. She updates her site. I mean, this is like going 4 for 4 right here.
I don't know. On the other
Good
hand,
And you know what, Micah, you know what I really appreciate? You had her update her site on my birthday, and that was really nice of you.
Aww.
I really appreciated that.
Well, that wasn't
send
the
your
intention,
payments.
but
Send your payments to Micah.
Thanks.
He will.
Yeah.
Micah
He'll
will
have
make
Joe update his site
for your,
on your birthday.
specifically for you. Yes.
Do you guys have any other theories about the title?
Well, I was thinking, and I think I said it to Laura, I think that the meaning of the title is embedded once again in the book. Like, there's not much we can say. There's not much we can say looking from.
Actually, Kevin, it's embedded in the spine of the book.
What I'm saying is, we knew with prior books, there were hints given to us in the previous books that we had read that could allow us to make theories on the next title. I think that we haven't seen any of what this title means, if that makes sense.
Clearly.
Well, yeah, you kind of mentioned to me today that you thought it was like Half-Blood Prince, where we didn't really know what that meant
Right.
until we read the book, because a lot of people kind of assumed it was an actual prince, and it turned out not to be.
Well,
So,
kind of.
Yeah. That's the thing. I mean, we can so easily misinterpret titles, but it's just like, this just seems to, I don't know, it seems to, for me it sums up the mood of the, I assume it's going to sum up the mood of the book.
Yeah,
but then,
hell.
Eric, as you were saying, it's got death on the front, but more so it's just, you can't call a book something and the deathly Hallows without having, destruction, death, and, not a very happy, time throughout the entire book. But, I don't know. I think... Sorry, go on. I can't actually think.
Yeah, I almost don't think that I would want to read. I mean, I don't expect to read any happy moments in this book. Can you imagine reading a happy scene in a book called Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows? Or
So
imagine
what about
the press
the wedding?
for it. Well, the wedding. Well, hopefully it doesn't. Nothing bad
be like,
happens. I mean,
It'll be like Kill Bill.
yeah.
yeah, the bride should.
Deadly Wizardess Assassination Squad. They have like.
It just makes me a little skeptical about analyzing the title so much, and I know that's what people want to hear right now, but the Half-Blood Prince title, I think we've talked about this before, it doesn't really sum up the book. I mean, it was one part of the book, but it wasn't the main part, and that's really what all of the books have been about so far. That's what the titles have been.
Yeah.
And then suddenly we jump onto Half-Blood Prince, which is just a book that Harry finds. I mean, he uses it to his advantage, but...
Yeah, but don't you think there's a possibility that it will be a pivotal part of the series? I mean...
I think it will, but I don't even know if it's a pivot... Oh, you mean the Half-Blood Prince?
Right. For all you know, the reason why she named it that is because he's going to play such a large role in the next book that you can't name it any other thing. You know what I mean?
That's true. That is true.
She's trying to draw your focus to the fact that, hey, although I'm just, breezing over this and lightly touching this topic, it's going to play a big role in this series.
Well, I agree.
Digressing completely. Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to actually say that I agree with you, Jamie, about this title is more, to me, it seems like it's more all-encompassing about what this final book is going to be about, as opposed to, Half-Blood Prince or Order of the Phoenix, which was about one specific item or one specific group or one specific person. I don't see Deathly Hallows as being necessarily a group of people or something like that we're going to learn about. I think it's more all-encompassing in the sense of the book.
Like a theme?
Yeah.
I think that's possible as well. I just liked it because I think it automatically sets a very, very dark tone, and I think that's something that the last book definitely needs.
Yeah.
Also, I'm very happy with it.
It'll just be in, like, the press, like, in the lines for the 7th book, seeing all the 10-year-old kids, the 8-year-olds in the Harry Potter Wizards, with their books, and it's like Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, and all these kids are with them. That'll just look interesting.
You know what, though? I like that because I think that children are greatly underestimated in what they can handle, and I think that saying that kids can't handle death is ridiculous because they absolutely
there's
can.
There's clearly there's one thing to say kids can't handle death, and there's another thing for destroying their childhood, or not destroying, but taking them out of the childhood scheme of things. Childhood is an amazing thing, and when you're playing to that audience. I never thought that Harry Potter was a children's book, but a lot of people, I guess, did. And, Deathly Hallows, like, to understand some of the real serious sinister... It was just more sinister than I was prepared for.
Yeah, but like every book, it's sort of up to the parents to make the judgment call on whether it's appropriate for their children. So... like any other book, the parents should be reading it first, saying, is this what I want my children to be reading or not? And if so, then I'll let them have it. Otherwise, I'll let them wait a couple of years.
Yeah, it's the parents' choice.
But,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's just a
decide for
parents'
themselves.
responsibility.
But it's... Yep. But children should be taught early in life that, life is a complete disappointment, and it's just full of
no, it's true.
Problems. And,
it is.
Death in a book is but no, okay. Seriously though, I think, and this could be a very obvious point, but I think we need to remember, and I often forget that. For example, the title of the 5th book isn't Order of the Phoenix. It is still Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. So you need to remember that all of these are linked to Harry Potter. He encounters all of them in every single one. So it's like the Deathly Hallows. It could be not descriptive because it's Harry Potter and Lee. So you can't have like Deathly Hallows couldn't be a metaphor for something or a description of whatever, because it wouldn't make sense saying Harry Potter and thee. So, I mean, I'd like to say that it's a physical thing or a
set of
place,
things,
or
I hope it's not a place.
But
I really hope it's not a place.
Still identified with.
It's right next
Harry,
to Godric's Hollow there. Deathly Hallows.
Yeah.
Gosh.
There's like a sign. Godric's Hollow this way.
Deathly Hallow this way.
Halo.
Yeah, yeah, but Halos. We're going to be saying that like Deathly Hallows. If we accidentally slip up, say Deathly Hallows, Deathly Shallows. Andrew and I were talking. We both said
I'm just
Deathly Shallows today. I mean, we know.
I didn't say shallow. I'm just telling everyone now. I'm going to be screwing it up a lot because
Hollows.
all I can think of is Halo, the video game. Whenever I read that title, so
Deathly Halo.
Well, maybe we should address that for a moment because a lot of people wrote in about it.
Yeah,
and a lot of people
Hallows
seem to be confusing.
Oh, yeah.
You're saying that Harry and Ron just sit on their Xbox
and play Halo.
For the entire
no,
thing
Godric's
play Halo.
Hollow you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
They're not the same word.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people wrote in saying, "Oh, do you think this has a connection to Godric's Hollow?" And I'm like, no. Well, I mean, it could.
Well, it's an understanding.
That's a nice response, Laura.
It's an understandable mistake, but
it's.
I think that everyone needs to remember that Hallows and Hollows are not the same thing.
Well, and it's kind of, though. I mean, it's not kind of, but in the same context, it shares context. When you think of Hollow as being empty and revered, a silent place like a church of revered magic and ancient magic, and things like that. Hollow, Godric's Hollow. Can that tie it back to it? Am I solving the mystery? I don't know. But what I'm saying is that Hollow as being empty and foreboding kind of just adds to the mysticism, the feel of what I imagine the 7th book is going to be like.
Right. Maybe, I'm thinking about it now. Maybe this is the most ominous title of all three.
It
is, yeah.
I think so.
Well, we don't know the other two, but I mean...
Well, I thought you were talking about all the books.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah, I was
well,
like, Andrew, you really need to think.
No, well, that's both true. I mean, if she's had 3 titles. What was the deciding factor on this one? It might be because it's the most ominous, the one that gets the fans most excited because it's so broad. You can't. You're going to be even more excited. Like, for example, if Half-Blood Prince was called. Now I'm just speculating, but if Half-Blood Prince was called The Search for Horcruxes or something,
Harry Potter,
or just Harry Potter and the Horcruxes,
Harry Potter and the Great Snog Adventure.
Yeah.
Harry Potter and Severus Snape sold potions.
I get but I think that she may have chosen it just for that reason.
Yeah. Do you also, do you think it is because, like, if you have Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, you can't, and you release that title, you can't then go back and write out the Chamber of Secrets, even if you hated it so much. But Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, you can. It's the kind of title where you can make it mean anything. So perhaps she isn't committing herself more than like if she had Harry Potter and the Final Showdown in Godric's Hollow, because then she can't go back, and also releasing a title, she can't change it. This is absolutely set in stone now. Right. So I think it's also because she just doesn't want to commit herself to one storyline, because she must be writing book 7, completely different to the other ones where she has to tie up all the loose ends, has to go back, change stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting about this book, because the stuff that you're writing, you're finished with, and there's no going back in the future book to change someone's view of a certain, topic or whatever.
Not that she really does that.
No, but you know what I mean. Like, once you write something in this book, for example, well, I don't know. I can't think of anything right now, but it's just everything's set in stone. It's final, and there's no going back. Whereas with the other books, maybe someone's opinion could change on something, or
she had room to finagle characters.
No room.
Yeah. What's in this book is going to be Harry Potter forever.
It's true.
That's how she's going to leave it. So
it's true.
There's no room for clarification outside of interviews and such. Essentially.
Right, which I can't even imagine what she's going to be doing around press eye for interviews and stuff.
And even then, the interviews, you can't really expect a normal reader to be reading the interviews.
Right.
When your normal person just picks up the book and starts reading it, they're going to get an impression of the book based on what's written in it, and she has to make sure it's correct. Otherwise,
And also, it kind of, I don't know, it has a metaphysical meaning, I'm sure, over just a literary meaning as well. Like, she could argue that it represents, if you take the word hallow to mean the veil between the worlds, then you could also take it to mean the divide between good and evil, the divide between Harry and Voldemort, and that, so it could mean so many things on so many different levels, which I think is a good thing. I don't think it's I don't think it's good to have Harry Potter and the, and then exactly what's going to happen, or one pivotal thing. So I think it's a very, very, very interesting title.
Well, I have a question.
That said, go ahead, Micah.
Yes, Micah.
Well, if you take it to mean that Hallows are the Horcruxes, and you take the word before it, deathly, as in causing death. You look at the fact that R.A.B. died from the locket, Dumbledore's hand was dying from the ring. And maybe he was doomed to die anyway, and you think...
Wait, Micah? Sorry, R.A.B. didn't actually die from...
I don't think we know how he died.
It didn't kill him.
He could have been killed in the pursuit of...
Yeah, he could have...
Oh, I think
or
he was,
after he destroyed it, he died from...
something
whatever.
Related.
I always assumed he died from drinking the stuff...
Great.
Well, my point is, perhaps tied to each Horcrux is going to be somebody's death. Perhaps you can't destroy a Horcrux without somebody dying. Perhaps Harry just got lucky in Chamber of Secrets with the diary.
So you create one by killing somebody, and then somebody else has to die for it. That kind of sucks.
It's just a suggestion.
That's one way of putting it. Yeah.
Well, no, that's cool, but that would really stink if that were the case. Could be.
That said, do you think we're going to be seeing book 7 next year?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, this is going to go into a whole discussion.
Same.
I would love to not see it next year. It's over after this.
It is
actually over.
Sad, but
and just the timing would be bad in the sense of school and the movie next summer. And
what do you mean school? No one's going to be in school.
They totally ruined...
Now, wait a second. Yeah, what? Go ahead.
They ruined 777. We talked about this by doing a movie on 7/12. They aren't going to do the book on 7707, and if they do, it'll be really stupid because everything will be jumbled. There will be no way to get the information across. What was good, what you like about it. Everybody will be forced to condense their opinions and not elaborate on anything. And they'll it's too much too soon.
But I think, as Jamie so eloquently put it last time, she can't just pull the book out of her.
Oh, thank you, Micah.
You know what I mean? If it's not ready by then, it's not ready.
Yeah, well, it's true.
Well, what do you guys think? Because on her website, when I'm sorry, Laura, when Micah just asked her to do that little blurb thing, and she did about writing it. What? Sorry, that may have been jumping to a few conclusions, but I'm sure we've made them already on this show. So when JKR wrote that thing in her diary about doing the scenes that have been planned for 12 years, do you think that means she's towards the beginning or towards the end of the novel?
I think that's got to be towards the end.
You think?
Because if you've had this story in the back of your head, this part of the story for the past 12 years, you're not thinking about the middle when you're looking for, I mean, I don't want to say fluff, but because maybe she has had the final book all mapped out in her head, so...
Well, so did she start by writing the in-between places? I mean, what exactly do you guys think is the process? Because we know she's had the last chapter for a long time. And she can tweak it, but
she has to make the rest of the book fit in with the final chapter rather than the other way around. If you think about it,
I think the final chapter is she knows where she wants to go. You know what I mean? So
she's known that.
Well, no, yeah, but
I hope she does by now after 6 books.
The final chapter, the fact that she has a final chapter says this is where I want to be at the last chapter of this book. So mapping the books out based on that
should be easier.
Should be easier, yeah. I mean, in my mind,
not to say
her
exactly,
job's easy, but not to downplay the fact that it's a monumental task. But still, it's you would think it would be easier knowing where you want to go.
Even if she has it planned out, that doesn't mean that things haven't changed. And
things got to change.
I mean, you may have something planned out, but it could be an extremely vigorous, 20-page chapter, and that takes time. So, I mean, we can't assume that we're going to see a book next year, but I think especially considering that she's released the title, I don't think it's impossible at this point.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what do you think releasing a title tells us about where she is in writing the book? I mean, is it easier to decide on a title at the end or towards the end as opposed to at the beginning?
I see it this way. Half-Blood Prince, the title was revealed on June 29, 2004. That's roughly a year and about 2 weeks prior to the actual release of the book. So if we were to follow this pattern, which I would think she would be following the same pattern, because, I mean, I don't know. I have no real explanation.
Taking that into account, I wasn't really...
Taking that into account, you would think the book would be released... January 2008.
And they should push that back to June.
Yeah. Now, the thing is, it's not like Joe. She wouldn't. I don't think she would release a book in January for a January release.
Well, no, it would probably be a summer release.
And do you think Joe has a choice when it's released?
Yeah, I think she has a choice.
I mean, she has a say in it, but you would think definitely that the publishers would be the ones to give the best recommendation.
Joe Rowling is untouchable, okay? If she wants a book done...
They can't say, publish it February, and then she says, but, I haven't written it yet. Tough. You've had a week and a half. Do it.
What I'm saying is after she's done with it, the publishers say, I think it would be best to release it around this date. And the likelihood of her going against her publishers and saying that is...
No, but what are they going to say? They're, and I understand what you're saying, Kevin. The publishers
are going to say the date that is going to be most optimal for sales.
No, not the date. Do you really think they know to the specific date what book? What date?
I'm talking about when she finishes the book. The time of the year that...
But they're gonna say... Scholastic is going to say their biggest time and the ideal time to release this will be summer. Now, as far as getting more specific about that... Well, yeah, but as far as getting more specific about that, I think Joe would actually have some... they're not going to say we have to do either the weekend of the 14th or the 21st of June. If she wants to do a July release, I'm sure they'll be a little lenient because summer is their biggest time.
Yeah, they will.
Of course, but what I'm saying is that I don't see it being released during January because it doesn't seem like the normal time for such a large book to be released.
But I don't think it would affect the sales. I think it would still sell a tremendous amount.
But you've got to. I mean, also, I think we have to take this into account as not only a book release, but a sort of end of era release. Because it's like people aren't going to be queuing up in bookstores and then reading the book, then waiting and going online. This is going to be, these are going to be the parties to end all parties.
Yeah. Right.
The queues to end all queues.
Yeah, and I suspect that they're going to be releasing some. They've been releasing special editions, but I have an itching suspicion they're going to go further than that this time.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
what do you think's going to happen?
Rare edition or something like that.
All these all these conventions they have going on next summer, like Prophecy and all this other stuff. It's going to be blown out of the water if the book comes out.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be groups on it and stuff. Now they were complaining.
We should do a convention.
Yeah, let's do the MuggleNet convention.
Yes, that would be so
featuring
organized.
all of us.
Oh my gosh!
But anyway,
it's true.
It's interesting because we have heard a lot from Jo this past week. And by a lot, I mean one diary update. But for her, that's a lot.
More than usual.
Yeah, a sentence would be a lot in most
cases. And she's busy.
Yes. Any dream experts here on the panel today?
Well, I have a release date before you get to the dreams.
Well, and even before that...
Well, yeah, while we're still on this...
Well, what Andrew was saying about, she released the title, so is it following the same pattern as before on when we can expect the book? Maybe, but what I wanted to say was, if you recall, she did, at Sorcerer's Philosopher's Stone, it came out in 96, 97, Chamber of Secrets 1 year later, Prisoner of Azkaban 1 year later, Goblet of Fire 1 year later, but she felt it was such a rush. She was very displeased with having to cram 734 pages into a year. So she took her time, and the movies came out, and she, it was 3 years to write book 5. Which was up to date the longest. Now,
then another
Eric,
2.
you have to remember though that she'd been planning those books for years before they were published. So it's very likely that large parts of the first 4 books were already written by the time they started taking off.
And not to say the obvious, but they were shorter.
Yeah.
And there seems to be a cutoff as well.
What I'm saying too is that we can't just say, okay, so book 6, we had the title at this point, so we can expect book 7 at the same time. Book 7's hopefully going to be bigger, and maybe she gave us this title because it was kind of a maybe dead air in the HP fandom. Maybe she gave us this title because she really likes how book 7 is turning out, but she still has a little way to go on it. I mean, we talked all about, and we all agreed that we wanted to take her time on this. I don't think it's comparable to the time it took between book 6 to get out and book 7.
But the difference with it, but there, I mean, I always saw book 4 as a cutoff between, you could almost see the series in 2 parts, books 1 to 4.
Yes, but that's talking literarily as well. I mean, it doesn't mean
no.
The release date as far as she's taking her time with these last ones.
No, of course not. But you also have to remember that she wasn't as an experienced a writer back then.
That's true.
And now she's a lot more used to it, and you can definitely say that because, it's like she's used to more deadlines. She's used to, getting people what they want and stuff like that.
Yeah, and just think about it. I mean, after she had book 1 out, it got popular pretty quick, not to the level it is now, but she must have been really excited about how the books were going. So of course she probably wanted to work on them more and maybe try to get them out faster because of how popular they were.
I don't know about that though, because book 5 she had a lot to do, and with the first 2 movies came out.
Well, but then she learned that she would have to wait. I mean, she would have to take her time with it.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is she might have just gotten caught up in all the excitement. That's why a book came out, one after the other. Those first 3 or 4.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
They were significantly shorter books to write.
And that too, of course.
So
Micah.
So Micah, you have a prediction, and you know what? I think all the listeners should take this very seriously because the trend Micah is going. I would not be surprised if it comes true. Micah, please.
Just guess.
What do you guys think about a release date of October 31st, 2007?
I like it. November 1st, 2007, we'll be playing that clip of what you just said on the show and bragging about it.
We will.
There you go.
Because not only, it's symbolic, but it brings the whole series full circle. It was the night that Harry's parents died. It's the night that the whole series started.
Yeah.
it would be a fitting way to end the whole series as well.
Yeah, I think it's very fitting, but I went and looked at my calendar, and Halloween's on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Whack, whack, whack.
I mean, that doesn't stop them doing like,
it's fine. Yeah, I mean,
like Lord of the Rings comes out on Wednesday. I mean, or it did.
Yeah,
the
but that's
movies.
a little different. You can't have midnight release
That's a movie
parties
release.
on a
Yeah,
Wednesday night.
It's true. It's true.
Oh, we got school tomorrow.
But,
they
but
should just.
she has so much influence now that she can just get the calendar.
I know. Schools will be canceled across
full on
the...
Saturday if she wants it to.
Let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah.
If a book came out on a Wednesday, do you think so many people would
Skip school?
not go to
with
school the
movies,
next
skip
day?
school, yeah.
I would.
That it would be like a big hot item on the news and like...
Yeah, and
I would not be surprised at all.
that's why I think it's a good idea to release it in summer, because
Yeah.
this book will probably take a long time to read. And if they, especially
Harry
if they
Potter
do it in the middle of the
Day.
week, J.K.R. will get blamed for so much like truancy and absences and stuff. Like, what do you even think with the title like Deathly Hallows? What is Laura Mallory going to say about this?
Yeah, if her kids skip
cares?
school that day, it'll be
Don't care, yeah.
fault.
No, well, they don't care. But what are all the the book witchcraft purists? Deathly Hallows. Death is in the title, and they're selling this to 10-year-olds. Who is at fault for that? I mean, this is like a dark book. They're going to try and release it. I think summer is obviously the ideal.
Yeah.
I think that's good, though, the title, with having the word death in it, because it'll make it... People who see Harry Potter as a children's book will think, oh, death, oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
It's a challenge to people as well. If you like it, you read it. It's got nothing. She's saying that it's my book. I'll call it what I want. And if you don't want to read it because it's got the word death in it, then
Right.
whatever.
And, some
Everyone's still
people,
gonna read it.
there's still those people in the United States, I'm sure they're in the UK, that people are like, oh, Harry Potter, that's lame and stuff. But they haven't read it. And I'm not saying everyone would enjoy it, because some people, it's just not their thing. However, it really... I'm just preaching to the choir here, but it's really not a children's book. But anyway,
No, it's a book that
it
it transcends all ages, essentially. I mean,
It really does.
it's a children's book because...
Where'd you read that one, Laura?
Thank you, Jamie.
Sorry.
No, because it is a children's book because children can read it. It's also an adult book because adults can read it.
And there's so many parallels and stuff. Like, do you get? I mean, I was trying to think the other day about fantasy, and the thing about fantasy novels is, fantasy fiction, Lord of the Rings, and Narnia especially, and Harry Potter. They're kind of they're not really fantasy in ways. I mean, yes, the main means of magic and things like that are fantasy, but really, there's so many political annotations, connotations, all sorts of things like that. It really tells an allegory of real life, of nonfiction, and each author is kind of, with Joe's ramp onto this whole death in life level. Each author in these fantasy series is really just telling kind of a skewed version of life. What they believe life to be like. And
that's what literature is. It's
true.
Giving your own opinions on the world as it is, and she's doing
even
it.
fiction,
She's clearly,
even in fiction.
Oh, especially fiction.
Especially fiction,
Because you can present it in a way that doesn't show that you actually believe it. Like if your main character is, I don't know, racist, you can say, well, I'm not racist because it's my character. It's your, you can do whatever you want with it.
But I was just saying when I was very upset about death, and I was like, does everybody have to die? In life, is that how she truly feels? And is that fantasy? Fantasy. I'm trying to think of but even the old child, nursery rhymes and fairy tales are all about death. So one could argue that this isn't really feeding children death any more than they are. But what I was saying was basically that. The books, being fantasy, you kind of expect... Is there any happy fantasy novel? Basically, I mean, Alice in Wonderland, she goes through a lot of stuff. Is there any fantasy novel that's actually fantasy, where you can get lost in a book, like Reading Rainbow used to tell me?
Yes.
But how light is that? Seriously, like all of these seem to be like really dark, telling stories about life through the fantasy persona. It's just I haven't seen really like a fantasy novel that hasn't done that. Like there's no good happy fantasy story, but that's just Deathly Hallows, go figure.
Yes, sorry.
Nice summary.
Yes. Now, let me tell you what, guys. I like getting into people's minds. I aspire to be a psychiatrist when I grow older.
Or a
Or a psychic. Is that what you're going to say?
No, I was going to say, or a psychologist.
Or a psychiatrist. Or psychologist, whatever. Point is,
or of course a brain-eating bug or something, Andrew. Then you'd be in their mind. That's funny.
Did anyone get that?
What did you
Was
say?
that 45,000 people just going silent for 2 seconds?
You aspire to be in a... Okay, don't put that in. Don't put it in.
Oh no, it's gotta go in now. So anyway, now this got me. J.K. Rowling on her site earlier this week said that she had a dream being in Harry's world, but it's not that got me. It's that this was her first dream about being in Harry's world. Now, have any of you ever had a dream about being in the Harry Potter world?
Yeah, I have. I don't remember any specifics, but I know I have.
Yeah, you just don't want to tell us because it's probably very embarrassing. But
yeah, probably.
I went into the school with my cloak, and I had my book and cauldron with me, and I had my pet. Yeah, I think I'm sure I have once or twice. Now, what gets me about this is that Jo says this is her first time having a dream about being in Harry's world. Now,
well, she writes enough of it, I guess.
Yeah. You know. Well, yeah, but now I'm not a dream expert, so that's why I was asking earlier. Does anyone know? Is anyone up on this sort of dream thing? What affects your dreams? What influences them? I want to hear from Kevin about this because I'm sure
I've heard that the experiences of your day have an effect on what your subconscious mind is thinking when you're going to sleep. So when you think about Harry Potter all day, it's more likely that you're going to have a dream related to it because your mind has been, thinking on it all day.
Right. Now, what does this tell us about how Jo is writing book 7
I think it means she's going into it. She's getting so far into it that, whereas she probably, if this is her first dream, she has had a very distinctive persona in her mind where, conscious mind and subconscious mind, Harry Potter's so much on her conscious mind that, she thinks about it realistically, where none of us can really do that because we only read it, we didn't create it. And now she is going so far into things that I just think, if she's having dreams about the stuff that she's writing, that she lives in her conscious mind too. I mean, it's got to be crazy. Dreams have been said to be, a playground for your subconscious. All the things you don't think about during your day, the things you notice, all the things you don't think about are going into your dreams, having fun, all the different people, all the different characters, all that stuff. Now, for J.K. to have dreams, it's got to mean something like crazy.
I think it just means that it's getting to her. And I don't want to sound like we're judging her or anything, but I think it's really starting, the pressure, I'm sure the pressure has been there, but the pressure's really starting to build up to the point where, and I kind of feel it's out of my place to say this, but it's just getting to her to the point where it's frustrating. That's the final book. There's so much pressure on it.
I don't think so.
I don't think she's being pressured to do anything.
I think she's pressuring herself.
Yeah,
if anything.
That's pressuring herself to make it the best. She has to please a lot of people. She doesn't have to, but ideally.
I think that this is kind of relates directly to the possibility of the 7th book coming out next summer, because I'm sure that as release time comes closer, she's going to be feeling a lot more stressed, and if she's never had a dream about Harry Potter in the,
12, 13
years that she's been writing it.
Or 16. Yeah. Right, and then it just happens. Right?
Yeah, it means that something... It means the 7th book is very, very close to coming out. But that's what it means to me.
I've been writing essays for 10 years, and I've never dreamt of myself.
Yeah, really?
But it's a little different. Essays are required. Harry Potter is a huge part of her life.
A school essay? What are you dreaming about? All Quiet on the Western Front. You're dreaming about Paul.
I dreamt
being in Paul's position.
I had
replaced.
I was lying in this trench, and then my mum called me for breakfast, and
and you were drinking. You were having a smoke with Kat.
Yeah. I keep imagining myself in all these war films, and I'm in.
It's a literary.
No, but seriously. Jamie, don't you think this means that it's really she's completely enthralled in it when you're dreaming about it for the first time, but it's your life?
I think it's the opposite. If I spend all day answering emails, I will never dream
But
about
can't
that.
dream about emails, though. I'm talking about real life
Andrew,
situations.
Yeah, but see,
but
answering
Andrew,
emails is something you have
it's
to
that-
do, Jamie. Writing this book is something she chooses to.
Well, she has to. But if you do enough of something, you won't dream about it because it's off your mind. You know, you can handle it during your
exactly
waking
what I
hours. You dream about stuff you can't handle during your waking hours, so it has to go into your subconscious. It's
Well, I don't
you know,
really
it's
know
like
that's true because it's been said that the last thing that you think about before you fall asleep tends to be involved in your dreams.
Yeah, but that's not true because I had a dream that I was walking down the street and I bumped into this group of guys and they started trying to sort of punch me and then hit me. So
Clearly,
and
that's not
they
something
said
that you go to bed
they'd
to.
go away and stop it if I bought them this fried egg from like a food stand next to. But Laura, I did not think about that before I went to
Yeah,
sleep.
but you
I
say
assure
that if you do something enough, you won't dream about it. And to be perfectly honest, I spend tons of time talking to you guys, and you've been in my dreams before. It's like I've had dreams where I'm like, where we'll all be together and talking and stuff, and I talk to you guys every day.
But it doesn't mean that we're actually about your dreams. It's like it can mean something else. Like Andrew being in your dream could just be sort
Means you like me.
Oh yeah,
you're
that's
concerned
right.
about no, like you're like thinking about something male. It's just a representation of
fits
But
that.
your dreams can morph from one thing into another. I mean, dreams are...
Of course they can, but
And that's the other thing. It's also been said that people have thousands of dreams every night, and we only remember a few of them.
no, that's true, Eric. That's absolutely
You
true.
just don't
You just don't
remember
remember
them all.
them all.
Your mind's on constant. Your mind's constantly entertaining itself.
So I dream about you guys thousands of times a night.
What doesn't mean necessarily bad. I actually
Yeah.
dream about.
I dream about you, Laura, all of my waking hours.
I have nightmares about Laura.
Oh, thanks.
The audience will laugh at that.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
I almost heard it. It was so funny. Anyway, no, I'm kidding.
But Andrew,
Yes, Micah.
what about the rest of what she said and what she specifically dreamt about?
What else did she say?
She said that in her dream, she was both Harry and the narrator simultaneously, and she was searching for a Horcrux in a giant crowded hall. But this is interesting because could she have been writing about this in particular, especially when she says that she knew perfectly well that the Horcrux was jammed in a hidden nook in the fireplace, while as Harry I was searching for it in all kinds of other places. That's kind of odd. Does that mean that that's where one is in the book, and she was writing about it earlier that day? I mean,
I don't think so. What I think it is, have you ever heard about authors discussing how their characters will develop their own minds and want to do certain things, and they can't really stop their characters from doing that? Like Joe at one point mentioned during book 4, Hermione actually wanted to go off and do the SPEW thing, and she just let her do it. And I think this could be something to do with maybe having a hard time getting something the way she wants it in the book. So on the one hand, she's trying to be Harry and make him do what she wants him to do, and at the same time she's trying to be the narrator.
Okay, so back on to the release date. Let's go around the table here. I want to get everyone's opinions. We've heard from Micah. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's going to be in 2007. I don't know when. It's going to be in the second half of 2007. That's what I can narrow it down to. Laura, how about you?
Yeah, I'm going to have to say anywhere from July on forward in 2007.
July on forward 2008?
No, 2007.
Oh, definitely. Okay. Kevin?
Yeah, I would say the same thing. 2007.
Oh, gee, I thought we were all going to have like different
Yeah, no,
perspectives.
yeah,
Well, see, here's the
Jamie,
thing.
what do you think?
I
For
would
argument's
hope-
sake, just say
I would-
2009.
Yeah. 2015 it's going to come out.
No,
No,
seriously.
I don't know. I really think it can be a summer release or nothing. I just don't think she'd ever release it. I mean, I love your idea, Micah, about it, finishing the cycle, but I just, the summer is when all the massive stuff happens, and when people are at school, they can read the book and discuss it and do all these, amazing things. And these conventions run during the summer. They don't run in October because, school's basically just started and everyone's doing stuff. And I would not be surprised if it was, summer 2007. I think it would be a big mistake if it was summer 2007. And I would love to see it.
Yeah,
summer
it could be a
2008.
huge marketing nightmare. I mean, it's is.
Yeah, it really would be.
Oh, just think about it. By the end of the summer,
It would be
it's
over.
over.
I know.
Yeah. And we're going back to school, and there's no big event to look forward to or hope to look forward to.
We'll just be going to
for
college,
2008.
and
It's kind of depressing, to be honest with you. All we're going to have to look forward to are Harry Potter symposiums. And another movie premiere, granted. But
see, I started. I mean, whenever the title came out, I mean, it really hit me today. I've been thinking about it, and it's like, wow, if this comes out next summer, I mean, we're not going to be doing weekly shows in 2008 if the book comes out in 2007.
I think we still will.
I beg to differ.
Yeah, really. What the hell
No,
are we
seriously,
going to have to talk about?
all the stuff, when Book 7 comes out, there is going to be so much. Well, first of all, okay, we're going to get the first wave of shows to talk about, which is all the revelations. Things she introduces like Horcruxes that solve the whole world's problems and explain what's been going on in the past 7 books. We're going to be able to fantasize about all those, talk endlessly about all those. Endlessly, because nothing's going to thwart it, okay? Then we're going to get, the extra things we notice now that now that we've, seen the books as a whole. We're going to be able to talk about that forever. Then, we're going to have the upcoming movies, all the cast, all the actor, things like that. Not to mention, we'll go back to the books and even do more fun things with them. I really don't think, Book 7, as massive as it is, Book 6 fueled us for a very long time on this show. A strong couple of months were devoted just to Book 6 stuff. Now, Book 7, we have the whole umbrella effect with all the series as a whole, and Book 7 as its own thing. It'll just be massive. I don't think. I mean, maybe obviously, eventually, we can't keep going forever, especially with just movie news. But I still think the hype will be there for at least another year. Maybe at least another year.
And we hope that you'll still be there with me.
Very nice, Jim.
Thank you.
I mean, when I said it earlier in the show, the title that Book 7 is released, it all became real to me. It was almost scary saying it because it really is the beginning of the end.
Andrew, if you need to see a counsellor,
yeah, that was very, very good, thing to say. Beginning of the
I heard
end.
you sniffle a little bit.
Yeah.
I heard you sniffle a
What
little bit.
went through your mind
cry.
when you posted that today?
Oh God.
When I here's how my morning went. I went into school, drank my lovely cup of coffee, did my normal thing. I go on MuggleNet, and there's a post by Caitlin saying the door's open. But at that point, there were no instructions. So I went on Joe's site, and went to the room requirement. And have you guys ever tried to open it without instructions?
No.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. And I don't know how these people figure it out.
No, I don't.
No, seriously, it's stupid.
Yeah.
How you have to get these things.
You know what,
open.
Andrew? I can't even get in. I was.
Well, Eric. All right, Eric.
Don't be
we don't need to
forceful.
bring Andrew to the show.
Okay,
This is our
okay.
holiday show. We're very happy this holiday. Then someone posted instructions that get in. Now, I think I'm the only one here who actually sat there and played the Hangman game to figure out the title.
Yeah.
Did you?
I did.
Did you play it before you knew the title?
Yeah, I didn't highlight the title on the site.
I did.
I played the.
I did.
How well did you do? I only got 2 lines. I only got 2 letters wrong.
I got it down to where I only had one leg left on the guy. But I did get it the
I got
first
it
time.
to just the stand and the top part of the stand.
He had one leg left, and then I realized what it was.
I played it like the people play Wheel of Fortune, where you do all the vowels first.
Yeah, me
and
too.
then you do the letters.
Do you know what's so annoying about Wheel of Fortune? When is it here? It's like they have right at the end in the final thing, they get a puzzle and they have to name. It's like 4 consonants and a vowel.
Yeah,
right.
And then okay, they're so stupid. They're like, okay, if I went on there and he said name 4 consonants and a vowel, I'd be like SRL. N and then AE and they're like
they give you those letters first.
LNE.
Oh, well, you see, over here, you name, it's a puzzle, and you have to solve it, and you have to give 4 consonants and a vowel, okay? And then, if any of those letters appear, they, open them for you so you can see, and then you have 10 seconds to guess the puzzle. And they're so stupid. They guess like, oh, okay, then I'll have V, Z, X, Q, Y, and I think my vowel will be a U.
Right.
And then they get absolutely nothing.
Go ahead, Mike. I'm sure you're going to be on topic and to the point. Go ahead.
Sure. You mentioned before how she released the title of Half-Blood Prince on June 28th.
9th.
Okay, 9th, sorry.
If Micah says it's June 28th,
Big
it's
slip up.
June 28th.
No,
she
no,
will
no,
go back in
that's
time
fine,
and
that's
she will
fine.
change it.
However, she didn't give us a release date until 6 months later. It was 3 posts after that. She gave us, of course, the the quote about what's his name, Scrimgeour. She gave us the 3 titles of the chapters, and then she gave us the release date on December 20th. So we have a while, I think, before we get an actual release date. And then, of course, she didn't release the book until 7 months after that.
Right,
So-
but looking at the big picture, I mean, looking at when the book will ultimately be released, you're holding on to October. You're holding on to Halloween 2007. It's, I don't know. In a way, think about my personal life. Having it summer or fall 2007 is disastrous. But
Why?
because it's missing school.
Right, yeah.
So yeah.
Can you imagine going to your professor and saying in the middle of the week, I have to fly out to England. I'll be back.
Yeah, I'm going to be away for 2 weeks
Yeah.
because I have 4 podcasts to do,
Yeah.
2 book release or 1 book release.
Well, that's why I was
It's
kind of
kinda
thinking
cold
summer of
outside,
7
too.
might be good because it would. I mean, then it would be over and we'd all go to college and
Right.
and be
And move
sad.
on with our lives.
Yeah, we'd all go to college.
Yeah. Eric, we have a couple of emails now I believe you wanted to go over.
A friend of mine, Maggie, pointed this out to me today that this was on the Leaky Lounge. I just want to credit where it's due. I don't know who did it though, but it is on the Leaky Lounge. So I want to say, let's see here, the Hallows could refer. The Hallows could refer to the 4 Hallows of Arthurian legend. I assume that means King Arthur. They are intimately connected to the Grail.
No, the other Arthur.
They're intimately connected to the Grail, and ultimately probably go back to the 4 treasures of Tuatha de Danann of Irish myth. The 4 Hallows are the cup or chalice, the baton or wand, the sword or dagger, and the coin, disc, or pentacle. I think we were right all along in connecting the Horcruxes to the 4 elements. These Hallows are associated with the elements and match up quite nicely to the remaining Horcruxes. The cup of Helga Hufflepuff, baton or wand of Rowan of Ravenclaw, sword or dagger of Godric Gryffindor, pentacle of Salazar Slytherin, meaning the locket. Now, I found that very interesting. Wait, there was more to that. It was cut off, but there was more to that, talking about the remaining 4 Horcruxes that Harry has to... it just kind of said that there. But the remaining 4 Horcruxes being the potential cup, dagger, pentacle, and baton. In addition to the elements, these 4 Hallows of Arthurian legend kind of represent the remaining 4 Horcruxes. So what do you guys think about, like, the deathly remaining 4 Horcruxes? Like, that would...
Aren't there 5?
Are there 5? Aren't there 5?
Well, the ring is destroyed as far as we know. The diary is destroyed. That leaves 5. I guess.
Yeah, it's those 4 plus the snake, or
But
Harry, or
one of them.
Voldemort.
Well, one of them is Voldemort himself. One of those fragments of soul is Voldemort himself.
No, that is really interesting because we've talked
of
about
course it is, yeah.
Hufflepuff's cup, the house cup or
Yeah.
something. What was it exactly?
That is interesting. Yeah.
Gryffindor's
Sword,
sword.
the locket,
Yeah.
the locket, which is this pentacle thing, the 4 Hallows. It's just one of those things. And as Jamie was speculating earlier, being this a direct reference from the title to the specific book. You know, the 4 Hallows. It's just even if
That
it's not
works,
ever
yeah.
drawn, the similarities. If she does mean, Hallows as in Horcruxes, I mean it has to.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those cool coincidences.
Well, I mean, we're getting to the point where there's only so much left to discover, and we're going to start getting things right. But the best thing about Jo, I think, is that no matter how much we talk or how close we come, we never even touch the surface.
It's true.
She always finds a way of proving us
Are
completely
you saying
and
that our
utterly
show is
wrong.
pointless, Micah?
No, I'm just saying.
Are you trying to get the group down? This is our holiday show. We're supposed to
We're
be in the
supposed
holiday
to be
spirit.
right. Aren't we right, Micah?
We're supposed to be happy. I just want
Yeah.
everyone to be happy for the holidays. That's all I want for Christmas.
I know
I know
we.
we.
You didn't get one?
For Christmas is you.
For Christmas! Well, my brother is. That's what I tell everyone. My 10-year-old brother's getting the Wii, but really, it's for me too.
Make sure you upgrade your strap.
Anyway, we have another email now. Jacqueline, 15 of New York, also writes about a little coincidence here, which, I mean, I'm surprised we haven't talked about this on a...
We have talked about this. We talked about it after the... Well, we've talked about
Well,
this,
why don't we
when we talked
read
about
the email
prophecy.
first so people know what we're talking about. Hey, guys and
Yes,
Laura.
good idea. Good idea.
Hey guys and Laura, do you think that it is any coincidence that the title Book 7 was released on the winter solstice, December 21st, and in the 5th book there was the quote that said, "At the solstice will come anew, and none will come after." Well, I didn't read that part, but that's actually... Well, I do remember talking about that. That is...
No, we talked about it, but we were speculating whether it would be the actual book or, I guess, chapter titles. But yeah, that's brilliant, and I bet it does refer to that.
That'd be cool.
No.
Well, yeah.
No, I do think... Of course it refers to that.
I think it's talking about something to do with the plot of the book, not the release. Or...
She's screwing with us.
It's not impractical that JKR said, okay, I want to release the title this day, so I have the following several months to be thinking of titles. We know it was in her mind as early as August when she changed the title in the shower.
Are you saying that when Jo wrote Order of the Phoenix, she was planning on releasing the title of Book 7 on December 21st?
No, not at all. I'm saying no. Okay, I was just speculating. I was saying it was impractical. Since it was Book 5, it seems a lot less likely. Okay, since it was Book 5, but this is one of those things where it's the mysticism, it's the mystique of JKR to do this kind of stuff, to say, at the solstice will come anew. What does that mean? Well, it doesn't mean, but she could have taken that, said, okay, I said this, let's make that special. She pulls things from the past and makes them special. Just like she wrote that, Snape was the person who overheard, the prophecy, things like that. They came later in the books. You don't know if she originally thought them that way or if she's tying things in. It's just...
Right, but
I'm saying it's not
that
impractical. Nobody should say, no, she couldn't have possibly done this.
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that she specifically made a point of referencing that prophecy when it was smashed, and I don't think that was just for some cute little book release date.
No, I think she had
was...
the opportunity, and she took advantage of it, and I think, if somebody asked her the question, she'd obviously say, not when I wrote the book, but it was available to me, and maybe she didn't even realize that she did it.
Hey, maybe this is
that's possible too.
But moving along here, that does wrap up our Book 7 discussion for this week. We talked about this for probably a solid hour once this is edited down. So hopefully you all enjoyed that. We probably will not talk much about Book 7 on next week's show, the New Year's show, because we'll be too busy drinking champagne and having our second holiday
mince
party.
Pies.
Yes. But moving along, we have an email in response to last week's show. This comes from a guy named Kevin. He writes, so I finally reach a level of technological sophistication that allows me to download the MuggleCast. The very first episode I ever listened to, I hear, quote, "They're better because they have a Keith and we only have a Kevin." End quote. Ouch. Okay, I'm over it now. Other than that issue, I enjoyed the show and will still listen to future episodes. Well, thank you, Kevin. Sorry you had to start listening to the show with a little rip on you.
Sorry, Kevin.
I guess he won't like episode number 2 where I accuse Kevin Stack of being a girl.
Well, I have two things to say. Number one, I forgot. Number two, we moved past. No. Number 2 was we moved past Keith and the girl, and we're now number 1.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping they're going to call us out on their show, but I haven't heard anything yet. I don't listen, but I'm hoping one of their listeners will tell us if they do. Anyway, moving along. Jamie, you got a British joke for us this week?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I have a few. First one. A guy goes into a butcher's, okay? And he, there's all this meat on this really, this counter is way up in the shop, like near the ceiling. And he says to the butcher, "I bet you $1,000 that I can jump up and pick that meat off the shelf and bring it back down." And the butcher says, "No way, the stakes are too high."
Woo!
And I just have a couple of sort of puns that thank you to everyone who's sending in these puns. These are absolutely very
I love
funny.
Puns.
Yes, same here. Such as a chicken crossing the road is poultry in motion. What do you call an Ethernet? Yeah, here's a kind of geek one. What do you call an Ethernet network in Australia? The LAN down under.
Kevin laughed at that one.
That was pretty clever.
pessimist's blood type is always B negative. I used to work in a blanket factory, but it folded. That one. Reading while sunbathing makes you well read. Last one. A bicycle can't stand on its own because it's too tired. That is thanks to Tonya29 from Indiana.
Oh.
So thank you.
Thanks. So, we sincerely hope that everyone has a wonderful holiday.
And safe.
Yes, and a safe one. What a way to end the year with the title of Book 7. It's the end of the world as we know it. Well, it's the end of the Potter world. It's the beginning of the end. That will be the title of this week's show, ladies and gentlemen. The beginning of the end. It's depressing, but hey, so is the title. So
for our Christmas episode.
You know, if Joe wants the series to be depressing, why can't we be depressing? Why should we be entertaining? I don't get it. Once again, everyone, happy holidays.
By the way, I went all out in spirit of the new book. I bought domain names.
So you and Kieran.
Make it quick.
Okay, we got 30 seconds. Verydeathlyhallows.net.
I like it.
So, I'm going to try and make that like a source for people to speculate.
Very good. Well,
whatever.
Once again, I'm Andrew Sims.
I'm Jamie Lawrence.
I'm Kevin Steck.
I'm Laura Thompson.
I'm Eric Skull.
And I'm Micah Tannenbaum.
We will see everyone next week for episode 70, our New Year's show. Good night, everyone.
See you next year.
Bye.
Andrew.
Yes.
And that was good, but you're upstaging Book 7.
Oh, well, I'm getting to it. We're 5 seconds away from it.
I know. Okay, so continue.
Okay. You know, it feels so out of place doing it this week, but I have to just one more time. I have a final Wizard Rock update for everyone. And this is actually an important one because I'm a little hurt, everyone. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. There's another Harry Potter podcast out there. Fellow co-hosts, have you heard anything about this?
What's it called?
I thought I knew about one.
I forget the name.
called?
It's not very memorable. It's so anyway. I'm an avid listener of the other show. Again, I can't remember the name. So I'm listening to the other podcast the other day, and I hear this.
He basically took stuff from his what's that? GarageBand in iTunes, in Apple, and basically sings and screams over it. And it's
cool.
so cute. It's
that
so
sounds like
cute.
Andrew
It's like,
Sims
you go.
and his rock band.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little hurt by that. Someone gave me a
You should be
snort.
distraught.
They basically laughed at my idea for a Wizard Rock band. And which is understandable that this would be brought up on another Harry Potter podcast, because I mean, when you are second rate to us, it is hard to come up with new content.
Andrew,
put out, but whatever.
Let me tell you something. I really doubt that you're going to hurt as many people's ears with your song as they did last year when they did your
that is
Christmas
true.
song.
Good point, Micah.
Yeah.
Good point.
Okay, guys, we're really upstaging Book 7.
Okay.
Really upstaging Book 7
I know. We're gonna get to it. This is very important, Eric. You have no idea how much this means to me. Okay, so that's that. Not very happy about it. I expect an apology from him, but I got a lot of feedback about my preview of the Wizard Rock song last week. A lot of people enjoyed it. However, I actually made a mistake. I played a clip from Harry and the Potters. So I'm going to actually release the show,
off as your own.
release the song next week on episode 70. I'm sorry about that, everyone. Some people actually liked the clip that I played. Let's just move past it, and you'll get the show next week. But anyway, now getting into our main
serious
stuff. Discussion. The grand.
Once we get to Book 7 discussion, Eric drops.
Yeah, he drops it out. Yeah.
Thank you for dropping for our Book 7 discussion.
Just too damn excited.
Yeah. Eric?
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Well, you can't talk about the intelligence of people. I mean, if you want to talk about stupid game shows, have you seen any of the game shows on TV today? I mean, you can't even touch Wheel of Fortune. Some of the ones today are just so awkward with digital TV screens and all sorts of weird characters like Zimbo and I don't even want to talk about Deal or No Deal. So,
that's an excellent game.
Show.
Oh, I love that game. Oh, it's so funny watching people lose. I love it. It's the best thing
Price
in the
is
world.
Right.
How greedy
It's
is
true.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
that's
do $80,000
unbelievable.
Deal or No Deal. I mean, come on, seriously. All right,
No deal. But
The Price is Right was the only real.
No, but Andrew,
What?
since we're complaining about game shows, Deal or No Deal, okay, I've got just a couple of minor quips quickly, please. Sorry, these are very real
This
concerns.
is a holiday show. We're all happy.
I know,
We're on a festive
exactly,
mood. This is like a
exactly.
holiday party. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay, when somebody opens a box,
Pass
a
that
blue box, okay, yeah, one that contains it, don't mouth the word "thank you" to them because it's not that they haven't done something special for you.
Oh, they don't
By
just
the
mouth
same-
it here. They'll go
Okay,
up to them. They'll hug them and kiss them.
Well,
and stuff.
in that case,
Good,
in
you
that
finish.
case. In that case, by the same logic, if they open a 250,000 box, you should go over and lap them while they're because they've okay. Other things. Bringing on a good luck charm. No, it's just luck in the first place. Bringing on like a photo of your children. No, it's just a luck game. Wait a minute, I've got a few more of these. Somebody sent them to me. Just give me a second. Give me a second.
This is a new segment.
What? Game show
JB's
complaining?
Yeah.
Oh wait. Okay. One sec. Honestly, it's so annoying. Okay, one sec. Oh yeah. When they chant blue, 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 as if that's going to help them.
Maybe you must
They do
play
it
it
over
different
here.
over there in the UK
Okay.
because we have silver cases and they just pick numbers and open them.
Oh no, it's kind of like that. And when they say like, oh, I have a good feeling about this box. Oh, do you?
Yeah, I
well,
know.
well, that's excellent. That is. I'm gonna trust my $250,000 to that.
Yeah,
it's
to
so
your
annoying.
good
Yeah, to your good feeling for like Dave from wherever. Oh my god, it's so annoying. That show should.
It should. No, seriously though,
shot.
like
Okay,
talking.
we really need to get back.
And talking about letters and things. I would have given anything to have one leg left after playing Hangman. But I can't even get to the Hangman. And you know what? The YouTube.
Okay, we
but
heard
the
you
YouTube, but
complain
the YouTube
about this
video,
already.
The YouTube video shows this person clicking all the steps and typing in exactly what. I didn't even get to see the Hangman person. My whole life, I would go without seeing that Hangman guy. I never took the Wombats. The Wombats never worked for me. Something is up. I tried it on all my computers, and I cannot get through that door.
Well, I
Sorry.
guess your site just hates you. But
Finish your story, Andrew. I know it's been a long time coming now.
No, guys, seriously.
no, I did
Okay,
finish.
you did.
Point is, I rocket Hangman and I.
Okay.
Okay, well, guys, getting back on track, Hangman is another death thing.
It is.
Sort of is, yeah.
Very
Yeah.
Gee,
Interesting.
how fitting.
Yeah. And yeah. So
Can I say one
Interesting.
more thing about the release date?
Go ahead, Mike. I'm sure you're going to be on topic and to the point. Go ahead.